All right. So, obviously, uh, I want to get the white elephant out the room right
Come
now.
on, let's go.
Oh, look at oh, all right, damn it.
Well, at least like the whole conversation. How it? Yeah, come on, I'm ready.
No, 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 no. You know what? Because this is the thing. I want this to be because I listened to the music episode and the Jill
Same
episode.
episode.
I'm not far from a banana in the tailpipe a third
She
time in
has
a
a
row.
beautiful, probably version. She probably has a beautiful version of the
No,
story.
you know what's weird? I actually had uh the last 3 months, and when uh I'm talking about my therapy sessions. Um
Oh shit.
there have been a lot of conversations about how I suck at communication.
Oh.
And this has been so when breaking this down in various exercises I have to do, I now realize how what went down between the Roots and Eve went down. Here's the quickest version because this is still Eve's episode. This is not the Roots.
No, it's good.
This is not the Roots Mia Culpa version, but this is the most distinct version that I know of.
The kilo version.
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
My version,
Not glasses on.
I only know my
Hadley
version.
went full glasses.
So this is what I know. For Things Fall Apart to be our like career defining album, I'm very, very shocked at how cohesive it sounds for a unit that pretty much piecemealed that album together without like communicating with each other. So the shortest version of it is that there was a period in 97 or 98 in which by that point we had always recorded everything at Sigma Sound Studios in the former Philly International Classic Songs Made Studio, Sigma. Um, there was a period that we got kicked out of Sigma for about 2 weeks. Um, Without getting too personal to it, we covered the subject on the next album, Phrenology, concerning our beloved fallen soldier Malik's struggles with his addictions. Um, and that got us kicked out of Sigma for about 2 weeks. Fatine of Kindred, the family soul, recommended to us that we move operations to what we now lovingly call the studio, named the studio, Larry Gold Studio, which will subsequently be still our home, technically, for the last like 2.5 decades. Um, 2 weeks into recording there, I realized that I don't like his boards. And so, kind of hat in hand, I go to owner Joe Tarsi of Sigma and say, look, I know we've been kicked out the studio and banned from the studio, but like I was using my dad. If I promise not to bring people around here, can I still remain here and record? He thought about it. He granted it. So he allowed me and Scott and certain members back into the studio to record. So what winds up happening is there becomes a triangle of creation. So all the music is recorded at Sigma, and then we send those tapes. Well, you might as well say because we can't hear what you're saying.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm just whispering to the people that this is about You Got Me, just so they know what we're doing here. We're setting it
right.
up.
So thus, we will record music at our studio and then send the tapes to the studio where Tariq and Malik are and Richard. So basically, I will say that every song that ever appeared on Things Fall Apart, I'm hearing it as a song for the first time when I'm mixing the song. So, which is very unusual because normally it's like, hey, we made it. Here's the completed song. You want the demo? Because of my back and forth with D'Angelo and really not, even though I was very present for this record, I'm also working with D'Angelo. So I'm hearing everything for the first time. I'm hearing the next movement, like song titles. Oh, what's this one? What's the Hawaii song called? The Next Movement? Oh, okay, cool. Let me hear it. Oh, that's cool. Oh, what's this called? Oh, okay. Step into the room. literally. So when we finally got to "You Got Me," there was a gap in verse 2 where there was no rhyming from Tariq, and I was never told there was another guest on it. So there was like a 20-minute back and forth. Like, we can't find Tariq's vocal. Where is it? Where is it? And Rich is like, turn up track 18. And I turn it up and I'm like, wait, who's this? He's like, Eve. Who's Eve? He's like, Eve, the joint for the jam sessions. I'm one of those members of the Roots that's sort of like just, why you look so disappointed, Laia?
I'm disappointed. I just wanted you to get to it. I want to hear E's version. So we about to hear this twice because I know that it's a different story. But
right. So I'm ending the story now. So
Okay.
as a result, one, "You Got Me" was the very last song. When I mean very last song, like we should have turned the album in 2 weeks ago. Before that was the last song worked on the album. Meaning I had already did credits and all that stuff. Yeah, so thus it became this weird thing of like, wait a minute, like what? Who's this? Like, I literally didn't know until the day of mixing that Eve existed. By the way, "Ain't Say Nothing New," which you're also on, was a last minute song added on the record as well. She's doing backgrounds.
Okay.
Right. So it was just a
She
lot of
Eve has her hand raised. I'm sorry.
No,
sir.
no, no. I mean, that's basically so even to the miscommunication of even the morning of shooting the video, because Kilo was like, wait, why y'all invited her to the video? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I thought you guys invited her. No, I thought you invited her. Well, Rich, did we invite her? No, we didn't invite. And it was
Jesus Christ.
So we were just extremely inconsiderate.
He's sorry.
And so insolent and so insular and so non-communicative with each other that things like that always spilled on the sidelines. But I never wanted you to think it was a thing where it's like, let me erase her out of history.
No, I didn't think of it so much like that. Everything you're saying makes complete sense. I totally understand. I didn't think of it like that. What I took it as is like, here is this girl I wasn't signed at the time. Nobody did know who I was at that time. So I kind of took it as, well, you guys were like, this was a huge record. Then Erica got on it. So it did feel like, oh shit, because someone said somewhere, sent to the person that I was hanging out with, the girl who was kind of like helping me out in New York. I lived in New York at the time. Got an address, but nothing was at this address. So I don't know it became a miscommunication, possibly. What all that you're saying makes complete sense, but I definitely felt like, damn, they lied to me about the address. They ain't want me in the video.
Oh, wait, what happened?
You got up and got dressed for the video and they sent you the wrong address.
Yes. It felt like it was like, oh, that's
oh shit, I didn't even know this part.
Yeah. We deserve a redo. Is it too late?
Well, let's go back in time to 30 years ago.
What's amazing, since all of that has happened, like the story has been told, but we've performed together since then. We've seen each other since then. So it's like,
y'all done "You Got Me" together?
In New York, we did it a long time ago. It was a long time ago. We did it
like 3 times. We did it once at Electric Factory. Once, I remember.
Yes, for the Grammy party.
Yeah, I think we did it once, like when the album came out. Yeah. We've done it.
We've done it, but it's still like, it's one of those things, because it's like, it's such weirdly, because I was in such a holding pattern at that time in my career. I was like this unknown, but signed, but no budget, no nothing yet. But I was signed and I was working on music. It was such a weird place. Even I was kind of in purgatory-ish for a minute as well. So like, yeah.
And is the story, Eve? Because the urban legend that I always heard was that Kilo Sanders was the one that introduced you to that process of that song. But how did you become the Eve and "You Got Me"? How did you?
What's funny? I don't remember who said come through to the studio, because I used to kind of just be around. I don't know if it was Scott or was it Kilo. I don't really remember how it kind of happened, because I used to come through to the studio. So I don't know who I'm saying? Like it was kind of almost like, oh shit. It might have even been like, oh shit. Oh, Eve would be dope on this. I don't know I don't remember
Can I
exactly.
ask y'all a question? Because at the time,
Mhm.
for y'all, I'm watching your careers as a radio personality in Philadelphia, right? And what's interesting is for most of us who were there, we understood that like the first time we really heard Eve commercially was on You Got Me. However, being a Philadelphia radio personality, it was interesting to see your careers grow, right? So for the Roots, y'all became international every other city but Philly. And it was interesting because for Eve, not only did you do all that, but you also became like a Philadelphia hero in
Really?
that way. Yeah. And I always wondered what that was like for y'all going those directions.
I don't know. I mean, I think because I was still so close to Philly being in New York, like my
Mhm.
career was still just kind of. So I was with the Rough Riders, I was in Harlem or Yonkers most of the time. So I was so close to Philly for the first beginning of my first
That's
probably 2 years of my career, really.
And when
Like
you
I
weren't around, I would tell people like your mom would fill in. She would show up
okay,
at community events and stuff.
literally, my mom was like always there. So like, yeah, maybe that's what it was. Because I didn't really go international at all, probably until mid second album, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about for you, Amir? What was that?
We had to leave Philadelphia
Yeah.
to move to London
Yeah.
to make any kind of. I mean, at that time, the only example I knew of was Jimi Hendrix, and it was like he couldn't get arrested. Well, it's not that he couldn't get arrested in the United States, but I don't think the United States was necessarily ready for a primitive, exotic
Yeah.
But
black man.
has you been watching Eve's rise? Because at the time she's got like 2, 3 radio hits, you know what I mean? And whatnot. And so that's what I just thought it was interesting in that way. That, you know.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, yeah, this is about right. This I was like, yeah, this sounds about right. Like just the story of the narrative of because the thing was the last part of the story was when we did Woodstock 3, X was mad as shit. Like we had a back we shared a backstage with X and I forget the other act. DMX, The Roots, and a whole bunch of James Brown, like Jamiroquai. Everybody's like on Woodstock 3. And we walk in and like the talking that you get right before you get a whipping from your pops when he starts talking like this. When when black men start talking with the back of their hand on the left palm, I gotta ask y'all something. Why y'all do Eve dirty like that?
No, did he for real?
Oh, dog, he read us the riot act, yo.
No,
And
oh, I love that. I'm like, I
he
love that so much. Oh, I love that so
he
much.
read
Dear,
us the
thank you for
riot
telling
act.
that story.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that so
Yes,
much.
he
But that's him though. That's X, man. Me, he